So guys, it's time. It's time. We've been talking about it. We've been teasing it. We've been tickling it. We've been talking about that moss. What's in my pocket, guys? What's in my pocket, guys? Some moss. What's in my table? Moss. What's on this thing? It's moss. We're gonna we're gonna try this stuff. The plan is to use this with this in conjunction with one another. And the reasoning is because as nice as this stuff looks, it does not have a physical texture to it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have that buildup of the grassy accumulation. It's not even grass. You guys know what I'm talking about. So that's the plan. And let's get a beverage, guys. Change your name to Bob Moss. Hey guys, welcome. Just like that. We're gonna put a little moss right here, just like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so don't I have better glue? What's going on here? Don't I have a better kind of glue somewhere? Ah, here we are. Dat moss dough. Even more moss. Dyer, I'm not sure about which retro game to do first. I think I have to get an upscaler since the capture card only has HDMI and all my junk is composite or RF. Oh, okay, wow. Yeah. I'm very excited because I love getting into, I love seeing people work their way through the technology. and you're a traditionalist, Dyer. I know that you're not gonna go into the dark side and use emulators and stuff like that, which is what I do. I'm part of the dark side. I'm part of the problem. I will use emulators. I will use ROMs to play those retro games. But I will say that I love the look of CRTs and games on CRTs. Do you have a CRT, Dyer? And I have one CRT TV in storage, but we used to have like a really nice one, but it's we had to give it away when we moved. You have multiple? Dyer. You are speaking my language. Change my name to Bob Moss. Bob Moss. Okay. Do you remember Bob Ross had like a little squirrel friend? That was so cool. Bob Ross. Bob Ross is the best. Shout out to Bob Ross. Amazing streamer. He doesn't really interact with his chat too much, unfortunately. That's the only thing. That's the only issue that I have with Bob Ross. That there's like very little interaction with his chat for as popular as he is. But I mean, he's cool. And I love like the vintage retro look that he has with his channel. I love how he got that, like, it looks like it's recorded all old and shit. It's awesome. It's a really cool guy, Bob Ross. As confession time, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I don't know how to properly apply this, but we're gonna try. We're gonna give it the old college try, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna try, and I think we should have a dish of some kind to collect all the moss, the Bob Moss. We should have something like this so that we can just drop it in and not worry too much about making a mess. I'm just gonna sprinkle this. $4.20. And so, oh fuck, I breathed and it kind of blew away. My plan is to then place this moss effect paint on top, because presently, right now, this stuff just looks kind of like uniform. It does have some color variation, but not too much. Don't breathe. Yeah, okay, no problem. Don't breathe. I gotcha. No breathing zone. Maybe we'll just, here, let's just do this. Just smush it in there. It doesn't stick. I did apply some glue. There's no static or stickiness inherently a part of this. Oh, broken. There we are, broken. Bob Moss. See, I can't breathe. I can't laugh. Green with envy over Bob Ross's success. There it is. There's the classic broken. Bob Moss is where it's at, yeah. So here, let's look at our very first attempt at applying this stuff. So there is quite a difference between the paint that I've applied and this finely sliced and diced green sponge. I bought a bottle of green sponge. I feel very dumb for buying that in a sense, but anyways. Let's keep on going. That moss is too green, yeah. Bob Moss paints a lot of rocks and the occasional robot. Yep. Hey guys, it's Bob Moss. Dyer, I'll send you an old clip of the console setup. I got a CRT, a normal newer TV, and a broadcast monitor. Oh, the broadcast monitor. Those are like really small CRTs, right? Is it a Sony one? I've seen those around, and they can cost a pretty penny because they're very small. But it's like good that they're small. If I'm thinking of the same one, that is cool. Very careful not to overdo it. And let's just get like a little trail, a little treasure trail, of moss coming down the edge like this. A little treasure trail. It is 4:11 in Ontario time, so we are doing pretty well, and we've been streaming for about 3 hours. That's not too bad, guys. We can definitely go on for a little longer. Definitely. The moss looks so good. Thank you so much, Dyer. This is only part 2. Part 2 of Operation Moss. We want to then apply the goopy moss stuff and see what happens then. That'll be part 2. Quarantine got people mad bored with unspent gas money in their pockets. Yeah, Gundam got a boost, right? Thanks to the pandemic. Thanks to Pandemic-tron. Gundam got a boost. Warhammer. All of these things. Just gnarly diorama stuff. Yes, we are working our way through this moss product, attempting to create the impression of overgrowth and life on this ruin, this Warhammer 40k ruin. Try and make it look like it's growing and it's alive. And we've got something, guys. A new challenger has entered the building. Thank you so much, my brother Night Trap. My brother has made a delivery. I was talking about this earlier, guys. How's it going? How's it going, Just Gnarly? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Earlier today, I was talking about my local hobby store having a sale, and my brother went back. He went back because he couldn't get enough. Couldn't get enough of that sale. So he went back to see if there was anything else he could get. And I wanted to go, but then I suddenly realized that I had other things to do today. Not just streaming, of course, but I realized that I had other things that I had to do. But he said, hey, if you want anything, just give me that shmoney and we can make it happen. So I gave him some simoleons. I'm trying to find other words to say money. and he has just come back with some stuff. So I very well might have received another model kit just right now. Man, as soon as I got back, I had a work call. Rip. Oh, rip the work call. Okay, let's attempt to apply this moss. So we're going to take a look, guys. We're going to take a look. Again, my brother just came back. And he called me up during my break. And he's like, hey, there's this and this and this. What do you want? You want something? And I was like, yep, hook me up, bro. Hook me up, broski. So we'll take a look. Breaking news, Epo receives new model kit while streaming. I know. I've been delivered. Some people get food delivered to them. Some people have their family get them food, necessary items, things to live, things to survive. I'm just like, hey, can you get a model kit for me? Just gnarly simoleons, bones, paper, coin, cheddar, moolah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like cheddar. I like that cheddar. Ducats. You got a crunchy churro? I did. That was a crunchy ass churro. As a matter of fact, it's Monday today. Tomorrow, Taco Tuesday. Skrilla? Yeah, that's a good one. It's Taco Tuesday tomorrow. Could we very well be in for another churro tomorrow? Stay tuned. Okay, how are we doing? What is the moss situation? What is the moss situation? Crunchy churro. Damn, now you're reminding me of that crunchy churro, which I could definitely go for. So here we are, guys. It is very bright. Moss does tend to be bright, but the issue is that it's kind of uniformly the same color. And one thing that I really like about moss in my one thing that I like about moss, I'm gonna write like a 6-year-old writing an essay, like doing a presentation in front of the class. One thing I like about moss is that it's got lots of colors and it looks different. All right, okay, let's do one more pass. Let's do one more kind of sort of consideration of the moss application. And then we can attempt to combine it with this stuff. I should put it back in my pocket. It's a good Seinfeld impression. Really? That did not sound like Seinfeld to me. But sometimes I say stuff and people say it sounds like someone else. It sounds like, just do that voice. What's the deal? What's the deal with moss? And then you got the bass, the bass riffs. Why I like moss. All right. I'm kind of making a mess. Pardon me. Making a mess, guys. We have to get some moss on the interior. How could I forget? And moss grows where moisture accumulates in the cracks and the crevices, like my butt. So we're just kind of collect it in those places. Digital sloth do funny voice, make gnarly laugh. Yeah, I've been known to do voices from time to time. But moss. Do you guys know that about sloths though? Is that they're mossy AF? They're like moldy, mossy dudes and dudettes. You guys know that about sloths? About my people? My kin? Did you know? It's today's moths. Vanilla. Wow. Wow, vanilla. It's called glue. Thank you very much. Vanilla. So spicy. Oh shit. I breathed too forcefully and then all the shits went scattering to the four winds. No, that's why we love vanilla. That's why we love vanilla's presence here. It's not spicy, it's salty. Unless you eat pineapple. Or so I hear. Or so I hear, guys. This is purely what I've heard, not speaking from experience. Just gnarly, but when I'm bustling, I'm gluing. I'm gluing. There you go. A little. Whoa. In our streams?
Pineapple, you must eat.
Okay. Okay. Just gonna add a few more. Redeem epos. Gotta get more of them. Okay, I think, yeah, we don't want to overdo it. Don't want to overdo it. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't have a redeem. Of all the things.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I'm just gonna... I don't like that. And one last scattering of the moss. Fuzzy moss. We'll see how this turns out. Again, this is like part of the process. I've entirely gotten far too invested in my moss-like endeavors, my moss endeavors. And now I'm gonna have to build like 14 model kits with moss all over them to make it worthwhile buying this. Oh shit, don't breathe. Everything is going to be moss based because I bought moss products and we gotta do something with it all. Okay. Is that enough? I think that's enough, guys. Let's take this opportunity to clean up because we are getting really messy over here. It's just how it be. That's just how it be sometimes. I support moss and moss accessories. That boy ain't right. Moss and mold accessories. I actually really do enjoy King of the Hill. I find it very humorous. Okay. We are somewhat clean. Somewhat. Let's actually take this brief moment in time to take a look at that wonderful delivery from my broski, my IRL broski, according to the lore, and let's give a shout out. Shout out to... It's not actually here. I'll give a shout out to the quickest. Not much sticking. The other thing I should really test is like what would happen if I do a very thin layer of glue on top of this. Would I then lose some of the texture? It would make it a little more rigid, which is good. But brushing it off is kind of helping it look a little more blended with the other stuff that I had put. And we got some over here. Let's brush that off. We're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a good old college try and see what happens when we've got this mixed together. Okay, that is probably good enough. Whoa. Let's just brush this aside. We can collect this stuff. You know, it's not, we don't have to waste it. And here we go. This is the moss. I have to shake it. Oh, we can actually do something about that. We can speed up the shaking process because we have this red thing that you see right here. This is a mixing device. Paint mixer, as some might call it. It's paint stirrer, shit disturber. And we can do that. We have the technology. So let's spin this thing up. You have to shake this product a lot. This stuff needs a lot of shaking. It separates really easily. The medium and the goop that gives it the look, the texture, the green color. It's very thick. And there's a ball bearing inside. It comes with it. That's intended to help you mix it. But if you hear, there you go, it loosened up. It loosened up. And you can hear it's shaking around now. And we have to give this a good shake. We have to shake this thing. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Paint vibrator, exactly. It's actually not much of a stirrer. It's like, yeah, it's like kind of like vibration and stirring. There's a magnet here that spins it around. And if you have a metal rod or a metal ball bearing, the magnet will connect with it and then start spinning it from the inside, right? Just gnarly. If they don't sound like paint in a jar, you're not doing it right. Let's get that vibrations, good vibrations. And let's just shake it some more. Yeah. And if I hold this thing up to the light, how that Mossy do, so I can show you Carmi. We've added more moss to it, and we've brushed some of it away. And I think it looks quite nice, actually. But we are now going to experiment and apply this stuff on top of the mossy sponge. We're going to see what happens when we do that. We're going to see. Very curious. I've become far too invested in moss and moss accessories. So pardon me, everyone. Also, okay, that's probably fine. Hope it turns out right. I hope so too, Carmi. If it doesn't look all that great, we can probably take it off. And this is an experiment at the end of the day, right? The main attraction is the big robot that I've been painting this whole time, earlier in this stream. That's the thing that counts. So all of this is in an effort to ensure that when we get around to the mossening, the mossening of the big robot, that it'll look nice, that'll look good. So I think this is nicely shook. This is shooketh. And let's try. Do I not have a brush? Do I not have some kind of brush? Here we are. And let's try, guys. Let's try. So when it's nice, when it's all shooketh, it kind of has a look of syrup. It kind of has this syrupy look to it. And then when it dries, you get this variation in texture. You get like a lot of, not texture rather, but it kind of has a lot of variation in the tones from light green to a very dark green. And that's what makes it look really nice. That's what makes it look really natural. But, what do I want to say? Anyways, it'll come to me. When it dries, does it taste like syrup? I honestly have not tasted it, and I don't think that they recommend eating this stuff. It is water soluble, but I'm pretty sure that there's some kind of solvent involved. There's some kind of no chemicals involved. It does have some odor to it. It's not an extremely offensive odor. But it does have some kind of odor to it. Quickly realizing that I had a different thing here. Let's see, what do we got? Alright, let's get some more. I have a sponge now. Let's try it with a sponge. I don't think it'll be a lot more random. They actually recommend that you warm up the part, your subject matter, in addition to the effect paint itself. Maybe keeping it by a heater, or if you have like a heat gun or a blow dryer of some kind. I actually don't have a blow dryer, so it is not warm, but I think it'll be fine. And let's change this. This music's doing a lot. And I can already tell that just applying this stuff has kind of helped to integrate it a bit more. It's kind of helped to make it feel a little more like it's all part of the same thing. Oh, you binged Ranking of Kings. Nice. How did you like it? So I've watched a mix of the show as well as the manga, but I think I'm behind. But I really do love Ranking of Kings. I kind of want a toy or something of the main character, Osama. I would like to have a toy of that character. Very cool. How did you like it, Carmi? And if anyone else has seen it or hasn't seen it, yeah, you should watch it. Ranking of Kings. It's an anime. Very good. Heartfelt. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So the creator of that show, or anime, or manga rather, comes from storybooks, I believe. That's why it has a very unique look to it. It doesn't really resemble manga, that, you know, your typical manga anime look. It's because he comes from storybook illustration. And I was reading this interview with him, and he was saying how a lot of people didn't like believe in him as far as like his artwork goes or something. His family too. I think I'm thinking of the right person. But he just continued on with it, and look at him now. Fairy tale, yeah. But the other thing I had read was like, what was it? It was. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts while applying moss. Oh yeah, he was saying how the reoccurring theme of his stories is that, you know, there isn't necessarily a bad guy. There isn't necessarily a singular bad guy, and that even the characters that you might dislike have some kind of thing going on in their life. But the other thing that he mentioned was how he wanted to reinforce this idea that you can keep going. Like, if you fail in your life, if there's something that didn't go right in your life and you failed and you messed up, that it's not over for you, that you can keep on going, that there's something else you can do, that you should keep on going, that there's more you can do, there's more you should do. And I like that message. That's a really great message. And you see it throughout the show, you see it throughout the manga. It's a very good message, I think. Took that to heart. I think we all have those moments where you're like, shit. Well, what am I gonna do now? This sucks. This sucks, I suck, blah blah blah. It's over for me. And you see that throughout the show, that they just keep going. The characters keep going. The main character, of course, plucky little hero, despite having a lot of shit not go his way, still continues on, still tries to find a way. And that is really cool. I like that. So, let's take a look, guys, one more time at what we've done so far. And now that I've applied that moss, now that I've applied the moss paint on top of the moss texture, it's looking really, really nice. It does feel a little more integrated, and it is going to dry. It is going to dry and probably look a little different, but I do like what's happening here. And I think we're going to have to experiment more and try out things more, but I'm very encouraged by the results, and I can kind of envision how this might look on the on our big robot friend. So I'm thinking we're on our way. I think the experiment was decently successful. There's a handful of sorry guys, let's get some water. There's a handful of things that I'd like to try more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that, guys? It's the mating call of the train. We have to respond. Horny trains. Oh my god, horny train. So horny. It came back with a vengeance. One more thing, guys. Let's actually try to apply some of this moss right here and see what happens. Looks great, Carmi. Thank you, Carmi. Yes, all of this highly experimental stuff. Not really sure how it was going to turn out. I'm very encouraged by the results, but I'm just very curious as to how far we can push it, what else we could do in order to get the maximum mossy look. Do you know what I mean? So let's get it going on. Let's get this ready to go. One more attempt, one more application of the moss, and then we'll wrap things up, guys. Arch, haven't heard of it. Yeah. Ranking of Kings. That's what it's called. Pretty good show. Pretty cool show. And it's a manga, too. The art is really nice, too. And yeah. Maybe you're not the type of person that watches anime, so maybe you want to read the manga. I can recommend the manga as well. I did like that. Okay, now let's try. Let's try some of this. I think we did a decent amount of stuff today. Got a lot of stuff done. Took a look at some stuff, so that was good. Productive day in the hobby realm. Now I have to do other things. I have to do some other stuff with the rest of my day. But yeah, I will be back another time in the week, possibly Wednesday. I'll be back and we'll do something. Not really sure what that particular thing might be, but we'll do something. Not other things. No! Okay. Another experiment. We have another experiment. Beekman's World. I was just suddenly thinking of Beekman's World because I said experiment. But, yeah, I was very happy to find out that, that Carmi and Chuk and some of you other folks out there, remember Beekman's World. Simba, remember. Alright. Now, we're going to apply this. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look right now. Bada bing, bada zaloom, yeah. Yeah, look at this. This turned out really nice. For some reason, I'm really liking the result here. And actually, a part of the reason was because I really packed it in. I really kind of smushed in the mossy stuff, and I like how that looks. Solaire, what up, Solaire? How are you doing? Nice to see you here. But let's actually try and apply some more of this moss and see what happens. Let's apply some of the moss to one part and put some of the and not on the other part and see what happens then. Doing good. Nice. Good to hear, Solaire. Good to hear. We are very close to wrapping things up. We are very, very close. We are experimenting with some diorama-like materials. Kind of bored. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully you can unborify yourself by watching my stream, but maybe not. Maybe it might exacerbate your boring situation. And for that, I apologize. Okay, so I've applied some of this. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're derping, Carmi? Gunderp. You know, Gunderp has been quite popular. I'm very, very happy. It's very gratifying to see that all you guys like and enjoy Gunderp. But also, work made me derp. Spinning Glizzy is gaining ground. Spinning Glizzy is quite popular. I think it's giving Gunderp a run for its money. I haven't looked at the data yet, but that's just my impression. That is just my impression. Well, it's gonna kill me! It's gonna kill you! Okay, okay, that is enough. That is enough, guys. We've applied some of the moss effect paint on top of the moss, and some we did not apply. And that is the difference. It kind of makes it dark. And again, it's probably an issue with the camera and the lighting. But over here, you can see, I'll have to take some pictures, but there's a lot more variety than perhaps the camera is displaying. But over here, this is simply the moss itself. And that actually looks quite good. That looks quite good. Consume beverage. I got you, Solaire. So yeah, I think we're onto something. Further experimentation is required. Further research is required. Isn't that what they say in StarCraft? More research is required. We gotta do more StarCraft research. Darillion Gunderp, my beloved. My beloved. But yeah, this is our serial experience moss. Our moss experience lane. And it's been quite the journey. I have no idea. I do know why I've been so fascinated with moss, but again, this is an experiment, and I think we're onto something. And I think that the robot, which I can show you right here, the robot, which is all in parts, we are on our way. We're creating the rocky texture, which then we're going to kind of bring in and introduce the greens and the olive and the tan kind of colors and variations to make it look more anime accurate. Not like my anime! I'm going to bring that in, and it's gonna look pretty cool, I think. I think we're onto something.